What is up, everybody? We are back for another episode of Palm City Chucks, and we are getting into the super fun time of the year. We've now completed one playoff round in the NFL. The wild card round is complete. We know who's going to be playing in the divisional round, and it is super, super exciting. As our listeners know here, I'm a Lions fan, so they're already done. My co-host here, Kris, is an Eagles fan, so he had a pretty tough weekend, to put it mildly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty tough. It's trickled into the week as well, I might add.
Yeah, just a little bit affecting
Yeah,
your day to day.
it stays with me for sure, yeah. Sleep's been
Yeah.
ass. Work's been ass. Yeah, I'm a wreck.
Yeah, that's fair. How's the lady feel about it?
Well, that's part of it, you know. She's not as affected, and that upsets me. But
She's
you,
not as
you gotta
bought
lean
in.
on your partner, you know. When I'm down, she's up. When she's down, I'm up. So I guess it's a good thing she's staying strong.
That's fair. That's fair. Need at least one of those in the relationship for sure. But
Yes.
with that, we normally do these games in the order that they're played, but I'm so ready. I'm so excited. I'm sure Kris wants to get it out of the way. Maybe not excited per se, but to get it out of the
Oh
way, we
yeah.
are going to start with this 49ers Eagles game. Kris, take it away.
Must I?
You must.
Well, it's disappointing because we know the Eagles up and down all year, mostly down. I knew they weren't going to go far. I said it in last week's pod. I didn't see a deep run, but this Niners team, and I still feel this way. I was not convinced otherwise in their beating of the Eagles. That they're kind of fake. Like I don't think they're as deep as people act. They're certainly injured to all hell. It was a game the Eagles really should win. And yeah, they didn't. And it was glimpses of it was honestly a nice summary of the Eagles season in a lot of ways. We had Patullo doing terrible play calls, such as the 4th and 11 season on the line, and you run 4 verts. So
Hey, man,
creative.
how about the last 10 plays? 8 of them were the same 4.
Hmm.
Love that.
Yeah. But honestly, and that's under a microscope, but we've seen this most of the year. Like, how many times did we see that? Like, it was almost a draw play, but it's an inside zone, but it's slow hitting with Barkley. Oh my God, dude. It got to the line of scrimmage, if that, like almost every time. And what do we do? Every single 1st and 10, we run that play. It's mind boggling that we were here all year long and this was never addressed. There are certainly other problems with the Eagles. There really are, and there's going to be even more for next year. We're going to lose a lot of talent this offseason, and it's tough. But for Patula not to be addressed at all throughout all of this is mind blowing. It it makes me go crazy. Honestly, it makes me start believing in like NFL being rigged and shit and just crazy shit. Like it really does, because it's insane. The offense this guy was running. This was a Madden offense, and it was on rookie mode or whatever. Like it's just insanity. The playbook was so small all year. You had all the weapons in the world, and the Eagles stayed healthy compared to most of the league. We really did. There were definitely losses, and like Lane Johnson being one, always significant. Our record when he plays and when he doesn't is dramatic, the difference. But with his age and Fred Johnson stepping in, not playing too terrible, it shouldn't have had this effect. And I'm sure it did impact the Eagles, but it's not why we were the way we were. There's plenty of reasons for that. But yeah, anyway, this game summary of the Eagles season, we had Patula constantly calling questionable plays. We had AJ Brown, Mr. I want to be the reason this team wins. I want to be involved. I want to be the guy. We have that dude dropping balls. And we have Jake Elliott missing kicks. And that extra point he missed early in this game was constantly a thing throughout the whole game. It was like, man, really wish we had that point. When you're up 3 instead of 4, when you're, up 6 instead of 7, and it just constantly kept rearing its head. And I had a feeling that would catch us too. But when it's all said and done, the Eagles defense did enough to keep them in this, and we have a chance with the ball late. What did we see? Which we didn't even talk about like any of these games yet, but spoiler alert, every team that had the ball last in a one possession game got the fucking job done, except for the Eagles. Every single one. And I watched a video breakdown of this too, just like the difference in, and this is more Petula fire, but the difference in play calling down the stretch, how creative you have to be to get it done. And you see plays from McVay, you see Ben Johnson, you see all these creative play callers getting their skill guys in space, getting matchups that are favorable. And we get 4 verts on 4th and 11. And then what does Hurts do in 4 verts on 4th and 11? He throws it to Goddard, who's like the middle seam, where there's a linebacker, a safety, like he's double covered. There's even a third guy milling around, and he actually had AJ Brown 1-on-1. Like they actually didn't double him, which, not defending the play call, terrible play call, but yeah, then we don't even give it to the guy who's 1-on-1, who I will still say a great contested catch receiver, even given his mighty struggles this year. But yeah, it just sucks, dude. It was a winnable game. I didn't expect the world this year. I really didn't. And to go out this way against an injured 49ers team, very injured. They even lose Kittle in this one, Achilles too. So that's going to affect them all into next year and everything too, which sucks. I would love Kittle, hate the Niners, love Kittle. But yeah, it just sucks. It blows, man. It's a long off season. We know this. We don't get football long enough, and they're done. But, saving grace is we're still defending champs for like a month.
That's true. You do still have that. I mean, I'm going to talk about the Niners a little bit before I ask you some questions here about the Eagles. I thought the Niners played, pretty decent. They weren't amazing. I do think this loss was more on the Eagles and the problems that plagued them all year long, all reared their head in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't even be surprised, honestly, at what you saw. And that is why I went Niners last week, just because I just didn't expect the Eagles to fix any of their problems, and they certainly didn't. They all showed up. You even brought up the kicking problem. Sometimes, you might be able to get away with that in a game, but not this past week. That did matter. That really did matter. I mean, to get a little bit lucky, Pinheiro did eventually also miss a extra point later in the game that kind of evened things out there, but for a long time that probably was hanging over your head. I thought Purdy was decent, not great. Did throw the 2 picks. Quinyon Mitchell had a pretty good game, so I'll give him that. I will give him that credit for sure. But he also got burnt a couple times, so
really
there's that.
Early. It's like
early.
fresh after the all-pro nod. Like,
yep.
Oh, shit, he's getting torched. And then, came down with 2 picks, which was really cool to see because Q does not have hands. There's a reason he's a corner.
I know. My favorite thing is corners only become corners because they're wide receivers that can't catch the ball, but they can run the route. Yeah, they can
try and prove us otherwise. Like, that's what it is.
It's so true. So I thought the Niners were decent. I do think that their injuries are going to rear their head. Losing Kittle is definitely a major, major loss for them. Him and McCaffrey were a big reason that they were playing super well down the stretch in the regular season, and I think losing half of that's really going to hurt. I mean, McCaffrey, credit for Eagles defense, but he only went like 15 for like 50-ish or something like that. So that's not great. With a lot more focus on him, with it not having to worry about Kittle as much, I do think they will eventually meet their maker in one of these upcoming rounds. We'll have to see, though. We shall have to see. Now to jump back to the Eagles here, a couple initial questions and statements. One, I'll acknowledge AJ Brown definitely did have a bad game. This was not a good game from AJ Brown. I defended him in his one game earlier this year. I'm sure you remember. I didn't think that much was on this one. Undeniable. He had a couple grabs that he definitely should have had. Undeniable drops for sure, especially for your number one wide receiver there. So I will acknowledge that, and I'll parlay that into my first question. What happens with AJ Brown?
Dude, I don't know. I do not know. I I feel like he certainly wants to go. I think he really cares. Like I believe him when he says he wants to be the reason you win. He wants to be involved. He wants to be the guy. And I just don't think that meshes well with a run first Jalen Hurts offense. And I just don't think that is ever going to mesh. So as long as he feels that way, there's going to be drama, there's going to be negativity, and all that comes with it. The only part that makes me think he's sticking around is Howie. I I think he knows his value. I think real ones know his value, even despite his struggles this year. I mean, he's still a phenomenal talent, and I don't think he wants to give him away for nothing. I also think it really helps the team if we get rid of him. We have tons of players, a lot of young talent that we have farmed through the draft and all of that need paid, and we're going to lose a lot of them. And AJ's making a lot of money, so you can recoup some there and keep the squad together as best you can. But I don't know how it's going to shake out. But I would be okay either way. I honestly would. As a fan, I love AJ Brown. I always will. Like, and I get that. You can have that outlook on your career in the NFL, especially post ring, and he's got that. Like, go be one of the best ever. I get that. You want to chase that? That's perfectly fine. But I don't think it happens in Philly. I mean, he could have a
Not with
wonderful
that
career.
quarterback.
He could be a Hall of Famer, but it's not gonna be what AJ wants. Like
It's
he
true.
wants it all, man. He wants to be Puka. He wants a guy like Stafford throwing him the ball 20 times a game, and freaking 18 of them are right on the fucking money. Like that's what he wants. And he's just not going to get it here. We don't pass enough. We're not good enough at it. And it's just not going to happen. But I'm fine either way. I'm never going to not want a talent like that on my team. And I really don't think he's too toxic. Like I kind of like a little toxicity from your number one receiver. Like you got to have that swag, and you got to be that alpha. Like I'm cool with that. But yeah, I would hate to see him go, but I mean, there's benefits either way. There really are. So I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, as for what's going to happen, I have no freaking clue.
Gun to
But
your head right now. Stays or goes?
I think he stays because I really don't think Howie is going to accept what is going to be offered. Like, I think he probably wants a first or a second and a player. And I don't think that's what teams are going to offer, especially with how he looked this year, how he acted, and everything else. They're going to try and fleece Howie, and Howie doesn't do that. He does the fleecing. But we'll see. I mean, it gets to a point where it's like something's better than nothing. Like we know that with players of all sports. I remember when we were doing the little NBA action, we were talking that way about Jimmy Butler on the Heat. Like, don't move him, like all
Yeah.
that. Like, but it gets to a point where it's like you gotta take what you can get. But I like I said, I'm fine either way. I really don't know how it's going to shake out because I think we're going to get offers, 4th round pick, 3rd round pick, and I don't think that's enough. I mean, he's a top 10 wideout in the league, and I still believe that even with a mediocre season and a lot of drama with it.
Interesting. I hope for AJ's sake he gets to go. I really do.
I do too. Like if I'm thinking for AJ, 100%, because I don't think we're ever going to have what he wants. And I do, like I said, I still like him a lot as a player. I think he's dope. So yeah, and we got a fucking ring, man. You know how that is. I was just saying that to some coworkers of mine, like the Lions and Rams trade dealing Stafford and all that. How the Rams didn't have picks for numerous years and all that. Doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter.
You got the ring. It doesn't matter. And it's the same way here. Like even if he does get dealt for a fucking 4th, like we got the freaking ring, man. Like if it sets us back a year or two, whatever. But it could also be, I mean, we've been here before. We lost Super Bowl to the Chiefs, had a shit year with a shit OC, and what'd we do last year? Like, I think it could happen again, but I'm also well aware of the roster that's going to be depleted because we're losing a ton of talent this offseason and we don't have the monies.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Let's move on to Patula here. He's obviously out already.
Yeah, he is.
Do you think that should be the only coaching change in Philadelphia?
I do for now, but clock's ticking.
What's the caveat there? What will make you change your mind?
Nothing that could happen from now till the start of next year. A rough start next year out of the gates would make me reconsider. But I think it's going to be much the same. Not that we're going to win a Super Bowl next year or anything, but I think the bounce back will be strong. And I think we'll have a competent OC, whoever it may be. And because that's the other thing, it's a freaking landing spot. Coaches want to come here. Like, no more hire the guy that's been a baby back bitch on the bottom of our coaching staff for 5 years. Like, no more inward promotion. Get a freaking brainiac who wants to be a head coach and knows if I have this Eagles offense, I'm going to fucking light it up and I'm going to be a head coach next year. Or, perfect world, get Vic Fangio just offense. Get an old dude that's done it all, who just wants to freaking be an OC and win games. And we'll literally have him forever, and I will forever be erect. Like, that's the dream. I mean, how nice has Vic been for the Eagles? My goodness. He's been tremendous.
Yeah.
You can get that for offense, and then there's no threat of them leaving? Hell yeah. I love that. I'm sick of losing OC. I mean, you went through it as a Lion, but like, that was pretty much the first time. But like, if you guys are crazy fucking good again next year, you're gonna lose your coordinators.
I mean,
like,
first
if you
time
get
since we've been
McDaniel,
good.
and
Yeah.
if you get McDaniel and you freaking go to the Super Bowl, win, lose, whatever, he's gone. Like, and that's what's happening to the Eagles time and time again. And it sucks. I want to keep a group together. And we've all seen the Jalen Hurts stat. I mean, the man has played with a different play caller every year except for one. Or he had one stretch of 2 years, and that's it. Every other year, it's been a different dude. That is difficult. And that's part of all of this, too. I mean, there's a million reasons why we're in Cancun.
It's
really
fair.
is.
But
fair. The bright spot is, I mean, we can be relevant again next year. I mean, it's still a young team. There's certainly going to be holes that need filled, but if we keep drafting the way we've been drafting, I mean, it's just a freaking conveyor belt. Like, we'll stay good, we'll stay relevant, but it sucks when you have the roster we had this year and you get fucking bounced first round at home. That is a bad look, and that, I think that leads you to why you asked me any other coaching changes, because that is certainly a bad look. But you know what else is? Firing your coach a year after the Super Bowl win, and we already did that once. And Eagles had legs to stand on there. They gave Doug every opportunity, and the man did not want to conform. He did not want to improve the team in the way the team wanted him to. So it was pretty much a agree to disagree situation. But I don't want to lose Nick because of that. But I've said this before. Nick doesn't really offer much for the Eagles. Like,
no,
he really doesn't. I don't want him very involved in the offense. I don't want him involved in the defense. Like, I want him to be a true, like, locker room guy. Like, actual football decisions, I don't really want him making them. And
he's got to make them though on like your fourth downs, kick field goals, when to take timeouts.
He does. And
yeah,
you're right. And that's it. That's what I want him to do. That is it. And with that, he has struggled in the past, but I will say it has been a lot better. I think it was beginning of last year, like the questionable fourth downs and stuff were just blowing my mind. But since then, it's been good. But like actual play calling and determining who plays on the roster and all of that, I don't really want him making those calls. I mean, he's good with the reporters. He says what they want to hear and all that shit. I'm good with that. And I think that the players love him. So I'm cool with him sticking around, but I don't want him involved.
That's fair. Interesting take for the head coach, but fair enough. I mean, it did bring you a ring at one point, so
yeah. I
Maybe
mean,
don't screw with
he's
it.
literally his winning percentage is historic. And is he
And that
responsible
bothers
for
me
that?
because I don't think he
Probably
deserves
not.
it at all. Yeah.
Yeah, he's because he's not. You're seeing what I'm seeing. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not him. It's everything around him, which is the way a lot of people felt about Hurts too. It's just
I do,
you know
not
you
felt.
I
That's
think
how
he
I
deserves a short
feel
leash.
about
Yeah, well,
Hurts.
whatever.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine,
Let's be clear.
and that's
Yeah.
fine. I know I'm not gonna sway you there, but um, yeah, that's where I'm at with Sirianni, and yeah, I mean, I'm fine if he sticks around if we're if we're gonna bounce back. But I'll tell you what, that OC better be good.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I just got two more topics. One head on. One is the Saquon question. I love him as a Penn Stater. I hate that he plays for the Eagles. Definitely a down year.
Yeah,
What do you expecting out of him next year? You think he'll bounce back, or is he
yeah.
on his running back decline?
No, no, I don't think he's on the decline, but that's probably near. We know the lifespan of a running back. Uh, it very well could be next year, but I don't think that is going to happen based on what we saw this year. I think it would be kind of a coincidence. I think this year his vision certainly has declined, but uh, not really sure why. I feel like you just running backs have that or they don't. And I mean, it's Saquon Barkley he certainly had it, but this year a lot of questionable runs, a lot of why are you not taking the cut back? Why are you not bouncing that out? Why aren't you just ramming it in the middle and taking what you can get? I mean, I didn't agree with a lot of his decisions as far as which lane do I run in. I think it'd be tough for it to be worse next year. I call it Madden curse, call it whatever the hell you want, but this year was not Saquon Barkley, and the line also problematic. I mean, very poor performance from the O line this year. They played, but they weren't healthy. I mean, Lane missed time, but like Dickerson played with injuries all year. Jurgens played with injuries all year. Mulata, I think, was healthy, but certainly a down year from him. A lot of penalties and just slop, man. Just a lot of slop. I think a lot of it was just we were so damn predictable. Like every single defense knew exactly what we were doing every single time. And we still had success because the team's that damn talented. It's just, we were just in our own way all fucking year.
Yeah. All right, and then I think probably the spiciest of the topics here
Oh boy.
is the
I'm already
quarterback.
what's the F bomb counter at? Jeez.
A lot. The quarterback position here, Jalen Hurts. And before you respond on your thoughts about Jalen here and how he was and where he goes from here, I do just want to add there's been some rumblings that some insiders are reporting that part of the reason that Patullo ran the offense that he did was his belief that Jalen Hurts didn't have the ability to run something
Yeah.
more complex, which, you probably could look at last year and argue maybe they could have done something a little more complex, but I do think that
Definitely.
Saquon running for 2,000 yards also helps make those easier
Everything
plays
else.
open up.
Yeah,
So
for
I can't
sure.
say they ran a very complex offense last year either, in my opinion. I think just what they did worked better. So I just want to throw that out there. I kind of want to get your thoughts on that and thoughts on Jalen Hurts just overall right now.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to love the answer because it's kind of playing both sides, but I think there's some truth to that. But I would also argue the offense has been more complex every other year he's played, and probably in college too. And he was just fine. I mean, and I've said it before, and I don't like going in the past because I think Jalen really is all about just protecting the ball and doing enough to win. And we're very good at that. I mean, like we said, Nick Sirianni has one of the best winning records ever. And a lot of it is because of that. You win the turnover battle, you have a defense that we have, you're going to win games. It's a simple, easy recipe. And we've seen Hurts play hero ball, and he would have won MVP if he didn't get hurt. The last few weeks of the year, he missed it, and they gave it to fucking. Or I'm having deja vu because that happened to Wentz, and then Brady got
Wentz,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, I think it went to Mahomes or some shit. I don't remember, but yeah, he can play hero ball. He can do all of that. We've already seen it. I don't like it. I definitely don't like it. I mean, we see it with Josh Allen all the time. And last year I would argue he did a great job of not doing hero ball, and we saw how fucking good he was. He was amazing. And this year he's kind of reverting back to that, and you see, like, every few games it's not pretty. And I like that Hurts doesn't do that shit. I really do, because he doesn't need to, because of all of the talent around him. Like, I like him playing into that. I like him not giving a shit what people say and just getting the job done. I really do. But as far as complexity of the offense, yeah, I think he can handle it. I think he's one of the smartest quarterbacks probably in the league. I think he lacks physical ability with arm power, accuracy, just not being tall enough, like little things like that. But the mental side and the leadership side and all of that, I'm over the moon with him. I love all of that. But, and the other thing is, and I've been bitching about this all year too, he has to run. When a team has to spy, that is one less dude in coverage, that is one less dude so worried about Saquon. Like, it's really not hard. Like, I'm not saying I should be the next OC, but holy shit. Like, where are the RPOs? Where was any of that? Hurts ran that the majority of his career. And that's decision making. That's quick and read options. Like, you're making decisions on a split second off of a linebacker's twitch. Like, he can do it. He's done it. Like, I don't understand this vanilla ass offense we witnessed all year. It's infuriating. But yeah, I've heard those rumors too, and I didn't know Patula said it, or did you say he said it, or you say he's thinking it or some shit?
No, like, media is reporting that insiders close to the organization. So there's a lot of like, what does that really mean? Yeah, what does that really mean? But it's definitely floating out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just curious.
Sorry to give you a non-answer, but yeah, like, I don't think he can handle a ridiculous offense, but yeah, he can handle more than this horse shit. This was a fucking peewee offense.
I'll buy that. I'll buy that. I'll buy that he can do more than this year, but I also agree there's some credence.
It's limited.
They were saying,
yeah,
yes,
for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, Jalen. I mean, not a great game from him overall. Like, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't a great game either. It's like 20 of 30, mid 30s, something for like 170, one tutty. Yeah. You're looking.
Factor in the drops on that completion percentage.
Sure,
even Smitty, which that was like hospital ball, but still, it's Smitty. He brings them in.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, this game just added to it for me. The Jalen's Hurts ship he performed really well in that Super Bowl, but getting there, the regular season, a lot of the playoff games leading up, I mean, carried by the talent around him. I'm just never going to be convinced that Jalen Hurts is actually a good quality quarterback. He's so middle of the road at best, in my opinion. And I mean, even the comments that you say there where you're just like, yeah, the amount of talent around him, blah, blah, like, I just don't know. It feels like you're settling, and you got your chip, so it makes this argument hard to make, right? I totally understand that's going to be your first rebuttal.
Got a chip, and he took us to another one, man.
But I just can't.
We can clearly get it done with him.
Yeah,
we can get it done. And you and I both agree. You
want to be paying $50 million to him for that, though?
Well, as we know, that contract's only going to continue to look better as time passes, as how he always does, gets the deals done early. But yeah, we both agree. We've talked about it. Quarterbacks, if you know they can't get it done, you must move on. You can't extend. You can't not draft, or you can't do any of that when you know you don't have a guy that's going to get you a chip. Now with Hurts, is he that guy on his own? No, I agree. I don't think he can get it done, but he can with a kick-ass team around him, and he's taken us to 2. So, I mean, it's a non-conversation. Like, he's our guy. It just is what it is.
That's not. I guess so. So you think he's a quality quarterback? If you just had to answer that one word, yes, no, you would say
quality?
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
That's very. What are we talking about? But
I don't know. I mean, you put them in rankings right now. Just off the top of your head, say a number.
Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, to your credit, certainly not what I said at the beginning of the year.
Okay. Fair
I don't
enough.
know. I'm definitely not going to be as hard on him because people are so caught up in the stats, the metrics of a quarterback that way. And I can't stress enough the leadership, the leading the team part. It's very important to me. And it's very beneficial. Like you're getting everyone to buy in. That's huge. And to perform when it
Except
matters
for AJ
most,
Brown.
when yeah, when it when it matters most to perform the way he has in both Super Bowls and everything, that carries a lot of weight with me too. Because as you know, like you can be a good ass team, you could fucking easy run through the regular season, but you're going to have to prove something. You're going to have to do something special when it gets later in the postseason, and he has. Like, and those things alone carry so much weight with me because we see so many quarterbacks where it's like, yip de doo, you threw for like Dak, like you threw for over 4,000 again. Oh my God, so good. Like, who gives a shit? You're never winning out of the wild card round. Like, I don't care. Like, he's ahead of Dak. Like, those guys, I'm putting him ahead of 1,000% every day. But to answer your question, I guess, like, I don't know, he's probably somewhere 10 to 15 right now. So, yeah, middle of the road.
All right.
High to middle of the road. But it's,
Yeah.
he just gets too much hate, man. I mean, there's
I
so
don't
much
know.
good.
I think the fact he's just so overrated by Philadelphia, I think that's why he gets the hate. I don't think it's Jalen Hurts' fault that he's so hated. I think it is Philadelphia and how they act and that they refuse to accept that he's not a great. That's
Yeah.
my problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly not his fault. I mean, he does just about everything right. And he's extremely likable. I mean, he's intelligent, he's cool, he's chill. Like, he's not freaking out at people or just an asshole to innocents or any of that. Like, I mean, we got a lot of personality in the league. There's some questionable ones out there, and Hertz definitely isn't one of them. But yeah, he doesn't deserve the hate though, and he shouldn't be hated just because some assholes who don't know ball are speaking out of line.
That's fair. I think I would just wrap this up with I said this early on in the season, and this is really my take on Jalen Hurts here, is that I just think I know you made the comment that the contract will look better with over time. I think for what he himself produces, he is just overpaid, and the money could be better used elsewhere. Personally, as my personal opinion for his output and the kind of quarterback I believe he is, I don't think he's worth the chunk of change that he's getting paid every year.
Yeah. And I think that's a fair view. I'm not going to fight you on it. And based on the success of the team this year, you certainly are correct. But as you know, it's a business. You take a team to a Super Bowl, you take a team to a Super Bowl again, and you get the job done. Like, you're getting a bag. That's just that's the way it works. And yeah, and I do believe. I mean, it's not that bad already. I mean, he's probably in the top 10, but it's high up. He's probably the eighth highest paid or some shit. But it's like he's also one of what? Him and Mahomes are the only two to go to two Super Bowls in the last 4 years or whatever. Like, I'm
I
okay
hear
with
you
it.
on that. I hear you on that, but I think my major problem with that statement is I really don't credit Jalen Hurts a lot with getting there. I will give him
And
credit. The
that's
Super Bowl
fine. But
performances were
again,
great.
it's
Yeah.
it's the same point all over again. It's the business, it's the way it's viewed. Like, the quarterback is your success. He is your not success too. He's your good, your bad, your ugly, you're great. I mean, he's everything. He's the face. And you rise up with the team or you drown with the team when you're the quarterback. That's just the way it is. And you're not wrong. I mean, you didn't play like a $50 million man, but when you do all of the things that he has done at his age, you're a $50 million man.
All right. I'll ask one more question actually. Let's say living in fantasy land for the current moment in time.
I
This
like that.
continues
We're still
for the rest
playing.
of his contract. Yeah. This continues for the rest of his contract. What do you do?
Meaning this season is what we get the rest of the way.
You don't win any more Super Bowls with him as your quarterback. And he continues to play like he does,
Okay.
but you don't get any more Super Bowl wins.
Yeah, I mean, you probably move on.
Okay. I'm satisfied with that answer. And no follow-ups. That's fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, winning is everything. And I mean, they're going to try other shit before they get rid of him. Like, if we
Yeah,
have this again, Sirianni is gone. And then you have the new regime, and then, oh, it was his first year. We'll see how he does next year. And then it's, and so forth. Then you have an OC change again. And then there's going to be all these crutches throughout the whole thing because there's so much damn turnover in coaching staffs. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it goes the other way, but yeah, I want to win, man. I want to win. And the way this offense performed, I can't do that 3 more years and pay the guy another freaking bag. Like, no.
that's fair. That's fair. Well, good thing next year the NFC East will resume its normal pattern and the Eagles won't be winning the division another year in a row. It will be another team.
We'll see. We'll see. You could be right. I mean, we're seriously going to lose a
Yeah.
lot of talent, and I'm scared, dude. Like the Giants could get Harbaugh or Tomlin. That's pretty terrifying. Even if they get Stefanski, I'm a little scared.
That's fair. That's fair. It's gonna be this coaching carousel is just crazy right now.
Oh, it's crazy.
Absolutely crazy. But
Which I
yeah, we'll
did
see.
spoil
Just
the
don't pull a
Tomlin.
Lions. All right.
My
Yeah.
bad.
Just don't. Yeah. Just don't pull a Lions. All right. Don't do that. That
Yeah,
sucked. But we'll see. You could. Yes, you're right. The money you've got a ton of money wrapped up for a
we do.
long
It's
time. A
all,
long time.
yeah. And it's all on the offense, too. Like all our young talent that we need to sign is on defense. And the defense was obviously the strength of this team. Hate to see it go. Really don't want
You've
it to
got to
happen, but it's going to happen. You can't pay everyone. And for some of it, we have things in place. Like Dean, not going to pay Dean, but we have Campbell. So Campbell could be Dean. He could be better than Dean. We don't really know yet. He's so young and, had limited playing time once Dean got healthy this year. But I think something strong in place is for him. But corner opposite of Q on the outside, scary, dude. Very scary. I mean, we saw it against Washington to wrap up the regular season because we bench starters. That worked out.
I know. I
um,
didn't even rub that in.
yeah, well, you didn't have to. I'm in a self roast mode. But yeah, corner opposite of Q, that's scary. Like Adoree Jackson was night and day better than our other guys, and that's scary because he didn't play very well. And we need a safety. I mean, Makumba looked awesome until he went down, and Epps filled in pleasantly to end the year. I was really happy with him, but Blankenship, like, strong chance we don't re-sign him either, and he could be gone. So we need a safety, and Jordan Davis, probably give him 5th-year option, have him for a little longer. But yeah, it's scary. Nolan Smith's going to come up. I mean, Phillips, the guy we got from the Dolphins, he's going to be up. I don't know what we're going to do with that. I hope we don't sign him, but we might. He likes Vic, and he definitely liked Philly, but we'll see. The other thing is, it's like I really want more players to just be cool with like not chasing the bag so much. Like, don't you want to come back and be on a stacked roster, pretty please? Or do
You're
you
the one who
want an
said it's a
additional 10
business.
million a year?
It's a business, baby. I'll throw that back
Yeah.
at you.
Oh yeah. And I'll always support the player chasing the money. But yeah, it just sucks because you want to keep groups like this together, especially what the Eagles have on defense. I mean, people make jokes because we have so many Georgia players, but it's like these guys are like so bonded, and the chemistry's insane on defense because they've literally played football together for like 6 years now. and
That's
and you're
fair.
gonna lose all of that. Like, and Dean is such a leader. Again, like I go to that with how I did with Hertz, and Dean's that way too. Like he has his weaknesses on the field, but he has a lot of strengths on the field, and that leadership is monumental. And we're definitely going to miss him because I think that's a sure thing. The injury proneness, the having Campbell, like Dean is gone. He just is. But it's going to suck to lose him, and I think it's going to impact the rest of the Georgia Eagles. It really is. He was
Yeah.
the spearhead of those Georgia teams that were so amazing. So yeah, it sucks, but faith in Howie. I mean, especially the last few years, it's tough not to think he's gonna pull some shit together and we'll be competitive next year. But certainly gonna
We'll
have be
see.
some weak spots. We'll see how this offseason shakes out in the draft. Better be good, or the Eagles just totally wasted a fucking season with a stacked team.
Well, I mean, last thing I'll say, and then we'll move on to some other teams here who also played in the wild card round, is
It wasn't just
the
this game.
nah,
Oh,
nah. I know, it's the one that's most vivid in my mind. That's how pleased I was with the result. But
right.
yeah.
This guy.
However, I think the Eagles are in a very precarious situation where they need to win again very soon, or they're going to be bad for a long, long time. I don't know if
Hmm.
you've seen this, and I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but the Eagles have deferred the most money in the NFL by far. And that does count against the salary cap. It's not like the MLB with the Dodgers where they can defer $2 billion if they want
Yeah.
to, and it doesn't matter because there's no salary cap. The Eagles have deferred a lot of money, and that will count against the salary cap. And some of those numbers I'm pretty sure were like 50, 60 million a year. That's a big chunk of change coming in like 2028, 2029, 2030, if I'm remembering correctly. So I think they've got to win again very soon. Actually, I'm not even going to say or they're going to be bad. I think they are going to be bad
Yeah,
once
it's just
those
gonna.
cap
Yeah, I
hits
was gonna say that
start
doesn't go away
hurting.
if we win.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they've got to win soon, or their window's
Yeah,
going to be
but
shut for
that
a little bit while getting
that
through the
brings me back to
deferments.
the Rams thing. Like we already got the chip, so and really have another one in recent history too, from a team that never won anything for a really long time. It's probably worth it, but yeah, that is scary, and I would hate to see that, and I think our fans would too, because I'm gonna be a miserable bastard come 2029 on the
Philly
pod.
is not now that well see now the thing is they've tasted victory and consistently good teams. I don't know that the city of Philadelphia will be able to handle a true fall off.
It's not gonna be easy. That's
Yeah,
for
I don't
sure.
think it's gonna go well. But
Yeah, they're gonna need to
anyways,
grease the polls for the negative reason of why we would want them greased, but or the opposite reason. But yeah, they're gonna have to take some precautions for sure.
most certainly, most certainly. But all right, well we'll move off of the Eagles here. That was fun. I had a little bit of fun with that. I hope you had some
Yeah,
fun,
it's
be
nice
able to get
to
something out, but
get some
vent a
closure,
little bit. Yeah.
get some closure. It's all good, and there'll be plenty Eagles to come because the off-season rants are gonna be crazy too.
I think they'll be worse because it'll really settle in, and you'll probably watch a team where you're just like,
Yeah.
God, we could have beat those fuckers in the Super Bowl. We just got there. So
Oh
I
yeah.
know, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. But anyways, let's move on to some of the other games here. We'll start back in order here. We had, I mean, before I even go here, what a wild card weekend. The Eagles
Oh
and
yeah.
49ers game included. The first four games especially were all bangers.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating at all. All of them were bangers, and the last two were tight for a while at least. So we had that, but certainly not as exciting as the first four. But let's start with
Yeah.
the first one here. We had the Rams taking on the Panthers in Carolina. And I'll be damned, this Carolina team almost beat this Rams team a second
Again.
time this
Yeah.
year. Second time. I'm concerned if I'm the Rams. I'm really concerned. You could say that the Panthers are maybe your bogey team, but that defense got low-key shredded by this
Hmm.
Panthers offense, which was definitely their weak point for sure. They were carried by their defense all
Yep.
year long. And the Panthers had the lead with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. I mean, the
Yeah.
Rams scored the go-ahead touchdown with 40 seconds. I mean, you alluded to it earlier, last team to have the ball minus the Eagles won every single
Yes.
game.
It's
And the
ridiculous.
Rams did scored 40
Yeah.
seconds to go ahead, but I can't believe this game was as close as it was. I was talking to so many people, myself included, that thought this would probably going to be the most boring of all the
Yeah.
games in the wild card round, and it certainly was not. The Panthers almost pulled this one off, and it was crazy. But credit to Stafford for staying composed, for Puka for absolutely balling out. A
Yeah.
great game from them, but they need to be concerned about their defense. You can't allow 31 to this Panthers offense here in the wild card round. Just can't be done.
Yeah, you're so right. That is certainly scary for the Rams to do that. But I think you're onto something with the bogey team thing because it does kind of feel that way. Like I don't think this is going to be a theme. I think the Rams are really, really solid. So I think they'll be all right. But yeah, for this game to be the highest scoring out of all the wild card games and also tied for the closest, a 3-point margin, it's pretty wild. And the Panthers did it like their offense was so good, and I wasn't satisfied with their usage of Rico. Like I saw a lot of Hubbard, which he ran pretty well. He was very much so a hammer in this game. And but I liked Rico, and we didn't get a lot of Rico, and I don't know why.
Well, Rico wasn't very pleased with the use of Rico either. I don't know if you saw his post-game press conference, but a lot of things are sounding like he will not be back in Carolina. He
Yeah,
said he wants to go somewhere where his talents will be used, and he didn't have an
appreciated.
explanation for why Chuba got a lot more of the touches down the line. He did take the time to compliment Chuba and his talents, which is fair. I think Chuba's a quality running back as
He
well.
is.
But Rico had some truly historic games this year, and I'm not overusing that word. They were
Yeah, they
historic
were.
performances.
Yeah.
So
And to
I'm
do
curious
them
to
like
see where he
back
ends
to
up.
back to back like he did was crazy. But yeah, I mean, Panthers, they're kind of like a running back carousel at this point. Just keep paying them and just changing who they want to pay, which I thought was going to happen this year. Like I thought they would then pay Rico and then have two backs they're giving money to. But yeah, after hearing about this press conference, probably not. Um, but yeah, Panthers, lot to be proud of. I said it before the game on last week's pod. Their season was already a win. Like they didn't have to do a damn thing in this game, and the season was a win. And I thought it was going to play out that way. I thought the Rams were going to steamroll them, but no, Panthers had their eyes on bigger and better things, and that's cool to see. And it's a team that in the South is pretty wide open for the future anyway. So Panthers may take hold of that, and we'll see. But it's tough to think you're not going to see more improvement even next year. I mean, this team just getting better each and every year. Same goes for Young, and they did exercise his 5th-year option, so he will be around.
Yeah, that was good for him. He played his way into that, which was good to see because he
Yeah,
really,
and he needed
really
to
struggled
because
early
it.
on, and he's grown so
Yeah,
much.
he has. But yeah, and he needed to. He needed to step up because writing was on the wall for a minute there. But yeah, I think he's more than proved himself. I think Tet was phenomenal this year and certainly helped helped Young's case of
My
sticking
offensive
around.
rookie of the year, personally, over Emeka Egbuka, I would go Tet
Oh,
if
totally.
I had a bet.
Yeah, consistent all year long. But yeah, I agree. Buka was like crazy hot at the start and then kind of fizzled out. But that's more off-season stuff. What are we doing?
That is more off-season stuff, but I just wanted to make the comment. I'm allowed to do those things. But this Panthers
Illegal.
team has a lot to look forward to. They've got to capitalize on the momentum right now. And last thing I'll say before moving on to the next game is it was really cool to see Cam back in Carolina as well. It was really a
Dude, he
lot of
broke the
questions about
drum.
the I know. Strong boy. A lot of questions about the relationship between him and the Panthers, but him being at this game, I think, quashed a lot of that, or at least showed that they're heading in the right direction towards repairing that relationship. Kind of a Calvin Johnson with the Lions situation. It was great to finally see him get back involved after being a rift between the Lions and him for a while. But painful. Painful is what
I
that
know.
is.
Even just hearing
Anyways,
Calvin's name brings a tear to my eye.
I know. Man, why do you have to retire so early? Anyways, let's move on to the NFC North matchup. The two Bears taking on the 7 seed Packers here. And oh man, what a game. What a game. Like I said, I live in Madison, Wisconsin now, so this game just hurt so many people close to me out here, and it
Which
was
you love.
hilarious. I
You
was
love
thriving.
that.
I was
Yeah.
absolutely thriving. Packers
He
fans
feeds
like to
off
be full of
people's pain.
themselves. I do feed off people's pain. I'm a masochist, but for other people. So there's that. Um, can't think of that word right now, but that's what I'm going for here. And the thing is, especially with the Packers, bro. All right, Packers fans just like that. They haven't been like terrible for a long while, so they even
Yeah,
look at this mediocre ass team and they're like, "Oh, we really got no. You're actually so mediocre, man. Don't even give me that crap." So I'm so happy that the Bears won this game. I'm happy for the Bears. It's been such a long time since they've been good. I'm
yeah, it's
happy for
awesome.
Ben Johnson. I don't know. I feel like that's probably a 50-50 split in the Lions community. Some are upset that he left and went to a division rival. Me, he could have left a year earlier and done the same thing, and he stayed and gave it another year to the Lions. So go and do whatever
Fantastic
you want
point.
after that. So I,
Yeah,
I,
he
I can
totally
respect
could have
that.
left.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely could have had a head coach job the year before.
Yeah.
So going to the Bears is whatever. Caleb showed some real growth. I mean, this Packers team was up 21-3 at one point in this game. It finished 31-27 Bears.
Hmm.
28-6 run to end the game. It was 27-16 Packers with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. Bears go on to win this game.
Yeah. And how'd
Amazing.
they beat the Packers the last time?
Exactly.
Onside
Fourth
kick,
quarter.
comeback,
Yeah.
dude. They've had 7 comebacks this year, and I believe it was more than one, like down more than one possession too, and a lot of
Yep.
them at least. But yeah, it's just remarkable what they've done, and it's starting to feel like a team of destiny. Like if they can get by the Rams, it's like, oh mama.
We'll see. We'll see. They come up against the Seahawks. I think it's a little bit scary, but
Oh
I could
yeah.
see.
Well, and I'll tell you what, you're exactly right. Because if they're down 2 possessions against that defense,
They're not coming
welcome to
back.
Cancun.
Yeah, come join the rest of us. But Ben
Yes.
Johnson is an absolute force, man.
Oh
And
yeah. And I know you love that handshake at the end of that one.
I was gonna bring that up. That was awesome. Hey, and I just want to throw out there, I can't believe I'm defending like a Bears at this point as a Lions fan, but like
Oh, it's the lesser
it's
of
the
two evils.
Packers. Yeah, it's the Packers. But anyways, LaFleur started that shit when they beat the Bears the first go round this
You're
year.
right.
LaFleur did the quick handshake. And
Yep.
then Ben Johnson matched that when he beat them the second time in the regular season, basically matched it. And his third one was awesome. Ben practically ran by him,
Dude, it was like,
put his hand in his hand for like a half second and was like, peace. I don't even think they said
oh
a
yeah.
word. It
No.
was
Nope.
awesome.
Dude, he
Absolutely
was literally
fantastic.
going like 75% of his max speed on that handshake. Like he was moving. And yeah,
It
no
was
words at
awesome.
all, no eye contact. Like it was just like, fuck you, see ya. But yeah, I mean, he said it when he became the Bears head coach that he was going to take care of the Packers, and I didn't know how to take that as a semi Bears fan. But I mean, he's
He took
backing it
care of
up,
the
so now I love
Packers.
it.
Yeah,
I
he took
love it.
care of the
I
Packers,
absolutely love
man.
it. And they had all those excuses too, like Love only played half the game, and then going back to even last year before Ben Johnson, the Bears won against the Packers for the first time in years, and Love didn't play that game. So you were constantly getting those excuses. But here, playoff game, Love was out there and they had it. they just took it from him. And it's amazing, but you're so right. It's not a recipe for long-term success winning games this way, and it's only going to get tougher as the postseason goes on, and including this week. I mean, Rams, it's a hell of a matchup. That's going to be tough, but Bears are
Give
home. I'm sure the cold will help. And yeah, I mean, they just got magic in the air there, so who knows what's going to happen.
give Ben Johnson more time with Caleb Williamson to build more of an offense that he's looking for, and it's a team to be afraid of for the
Oh, it's
future for
exciting,
sure.
dude. It's very exciting.
I don't love it, so there's that.
I do,
I'm not a
especially
huge
if we're
fan.
if we're talking about the 2029 Eagles. I don't dude. Also, freaking, and I don't want to bring this back to the Eagles. I really don't, but I have to say this. Freaking Stephen A. said the Packers' loss was less embarrassing than the Eagles' loss.
I don't think I'm
How?
with that. I don't think
They
I'm
were
with
up
that.
19. Like what? I get the
Yeah,
Eagles should beat the Niners, but like I'm not saying we shouldn't have, but Oh my God. I just had to throw that in. I thought I was going to get like fired or written up at work. Like when I heard that, that was bad. I was freaking out.
I believe that. I love a good classic work freak out. Middle of the day,
Yeah,
customers in the
crash
store.
out, man. Yeah.
This motherfucker, Stephen A, bro. Did you see this shit?
Dude,
Saying at the
I
counter.
lost it. And they all just know what buttons to push with me too. It's a dangerous place to be, and I'll probably have a heart attack there and die.
That's fair. That's so fair. All right, let's move on to the next one here. We got the Bills taking on the Jags. Bills coming out victorious on the road, 27-24. We talked about it last week. Unfortunate matchup for the Jaguars here to
Yes.
pull this one in the wild card round. But at
So
the same
annoying.
time, Trevor Lawrence did not have a great game. If he played a little bit better, they could have ousted the Bills here. They really could
Yeah.
have. And the Bills, you said the Bears are kind of seeming like a team of destiny. I think on the AFC side of things, the Bills are the team of
Well,
destiny.
and that was like the biggest bitch of it when we were talking about it last week. Because, like I said, this should have been the AFC Championship game. Like these are my two favorite teams in the AFC. And yeah, it just sucks they had to go at it in this first wild card round. And yeah, the Bills, man, like I picked against them, and it's like I had to because I feel like the Jags were just so consistent all year long, and but it sucked because it's the Bills' year. Like Allen doesn't have to worry about Mahomes. He doesn't have to worry about Burrow, Lamar, like any of it. He is the only one. Like he is the lone juggernaut in the AFC. So it was like all the stars were pointing Bills, but then I'm still like, fuck it, Jags. But you're right. They totally could have got it done. Like a little better of a performance from Lawrence, and this game is theirs. But another team, much like the Panthers, if not even more so, like such a dub of a season. Like they have to be so happy, and future's bright. It's a young team. Defense is really good.
First year new coach too.
And yeah, yep, yep. And then we didn't even see arguably the best player in the draft, like almost all year, Travis Hunter. So, I mean, if
Don't
me and
get me
you are wrong
started.
about, if we're wrong about him though, like how good is this team? And they got Jacoby Myers inked down for a few years. They're still gonna have Brian Thomas Jr. for a while. It's a good squad. The real question is ETN, but they drafted well. I mean, I like what I'm seeing from Tootin, and they have another rookie back too that doesn't even see the field, but he could be something too for if they do lose ETN. But yeah, the team's in a great place. Season is a win for sure. And yeah, I honestly just kind of hope the Bills just can get it done at this point. I mean, feels so bad for that fan base, and
No, the
it's
fan
it's
base
a great
deserves
fan
it.
base too. Like I love their fan base, and yeah, everything's out of the way. So if Josh and the Bills can't get it done, I mean, we're never gonna forget about it, and they're not gonna hear the end of it either.
No, to be honest, I feel like this is a legacy year for Josh. Could either be really positive or really negative. I think
Yeah,
he's got to go win it this year. This is
well
his
put.
real
Because yeah, he
chance.
has no excuse now. He really doesn't. And the one I would take is this Jags team, but they handled them. And now I think they're far and away the front runners out of the AFC. But yeah, we'll
My
see if they
Super
can get
Bowl
it done. Because
winners are still going around here.
that's right,
I was
buddy.
a Bills
That's right.
guy, so yeah, we'll
You
see.
were. Yeah, I had the
We'll
Bills
see.
in the game and picked my birds. R.I.P. Rip the chat. But yeah, the Bills are so damn close, and they really have a good shot. So I hope they can get it done. I mean, but we'll see. They've certainly been known to collapse, especially in the postseason, and that's another one where I mean we talked about Harbaugh last week. Now we have Tomlin. Like that's another one where it's like, how much longer are we gonna settle for getting bounced in the playoffs year after having wonderful regular
I
seasons?
think if they don't win the Super Bowl, McDermott's gone.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think that's
With the
close to
options that are
fair.
out there, I mean, I don't know
If
that
the,
it's necessarily fair, but I think it's what's going to happen, especially with the names that are out there.
oh, you're right.
Harbaugh,
Yeah,
Tomlin.
and I think you're onto something there too because I think these coaches are kind of stalling because they know that too. Like, it looks like LaFleur saved his job, but that was another one where, I mean, there could be a good landing spot for one of these guys. But yeah, I think you're onto something there. I think these high end coaches are kind of hanging out, waiting for an even better opportunity because they would all jump at that one.
Absolutely. How would you not want to work with that team? I will say if the
Yeah.
Bills don't win, I do want the Rams to win. Give Stafford his second ring, bro. Especially because I was doing a lot more reading and gosh, public opinion is it's like 50-50, maybe slightly gearing towards May for this whole MVP thing, and I just can't
Really?
get over that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I read
I
it.
in
Like I
my
just can't.
you've probably researched more than I have, but in my findings, I found it was probably slightly in Stafford's favor. Um, but yeah, that's interesting. And I hope it does go to Stafford. And speaking of research and reading and all that, you look at these all-time lists. Like if Stafford actually gets this MVP and he gets a Super Bowl to boot, maybe a Super Bowl MVP. I mean, he is climbing the rankings, brother. Like he's
Deserves.
probably already top 10, but he's probably like 9.
Yeah.
But if he does all of this, like brother could be flirting with top 5.
Five, exactly. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I want it for him so bad. He did so much for Detroit his time here, sticking it out for as long as he did, losing so many games. I want nothing but success for the guy. So a
Yeah.
Bills Rams Super Bowl would be my dream.
Oh my
But
God, yeah.
anyways,
Because either way, you're happy.
yeah,
That would be
exactly,
so fun.
exactly, exactly. But we got 2 games left here, slightly more boring games out of the 6 here. Wrap it up with. We had the Chargers taking on the Patriots in New England. Chargers win this one 16-3.
Well,
Um,
Pats, but yeah.
yes, Pats, excuse me. Gosh, Pats win this
But
one
dude,
16 to
Herbert,
3.
oh my gosh. Is he
Terrible.
okay?
He was
I mean,
bad.
brother
And
was
and to
getting
be honest,
sacked constantly and
okay,
just
but
destroyed.
on that point, I feel like that was more of a second half problem. I feel
Yeah.
like in the first half that wasn't like a major problem, and they also turned the ball over on the New England 10 and got
Yeah.
zero
Can't do
points
that.
early on. Like when you get 0 points on that, I thought the game was over to me. I was already like, damn, I'm wrong.
Yeah, I get that way too. Like you miss a crucial opening the game with a statement opportunity there and yeah, you come away with nothing. Those points feel heavy, like the or
That's
lack
one where you
thereof.
had the way that short drive, we'll call it, went here because it was 4 plays. Is none of your first 3 plays worked out. You try to run, then you tried 2 passes. Both of them Herbert had to scramble on. So nothing that you're calling is working. Take the 3 points and go ahead. I
Mhm.
don't understand this obsession with feeling like you needed to go for the touchdown there. What
Right.
are we doing?
And coming from Harbaugh, pretty surprising.
I agree.
Because I would think he would understand that and understand your opponent is such a big thing in these decisions because we see it these hefty nut coaches that feel the need to go for it all the freaking time on fourth, and it's like know who you're playing, man. Like I could have told you the Pats weren't going to score a shit ton in this game. Like
Yeah.
I probably would have guessed more than 16, um, but I wouldn't have guessed more than 24. Like they were capped and 3 there goes a long way, but I mean, yeah, in hindsight, they end the game with 3, so what good of would 3 have done? But as you know, the
Change
whole
the
game
script of the
plays out
game.
differently
Yeah,
when you
exactly.
make a poor decision like that. But yeah, really shocking from Harbaugh,
Especially
but
because Stevenson goes for like 50 yards on the first play when they had them
yeah,
at the 2. So like it was null and void. Even they're thinking of like, oh, we'll just pin him anyways. Didn't matter. You let up a 50-yard run on the very next play.
yeah,
So
to
there's
Mr.
that. And
Fumble. He had a
then you
great game.
mentioned
He was
he
great in the
did have a great
receiving game
game.
too. Like, where the hell did that come
Ramondre
from?
is so underappreciated. I think like he does
He
have some
is.
fumble problems, but I think he's a
Yeah.
damn good back.
I
Damn good
I
back.
I am with you, but I've been very harsh on him since his latest fumble escapade. I just you can't have it. You can't have it. And I said it when Derrick Henry was kind of going through it with the Ravens. Like he's the only one immune to that, and I kind of still feel that way. Like when you have a guy at Stevenson's level doing it, you can't play him, especially when you have Henderson behind him. Like, I mean, talk about the explosion. We're talking about 50-yard plays from Stevenson. If that's Henderson, that's a tutty.
Hey, if he finds the hole. Who knows? I
Right.
thought this first year from Henderson was a mixed bag. He had some very good
Totally.
games and some very not so good games. So
And this being a not so good one.
I
I
agree.
mean, he had a
Yeah.
long of like 15, but ended the game with like 20 something rushing yards. Like he was bottled up every play except for one.
Before I come out firing here, I will acknowledge, as you said earlier, the second half was that Chargers offensive line got destroyed by the Pats. Herbert was under pressure, had no time, but we're now getting to a point here where we kind of talked about it on the pod last year, and he bought back at least some of my faith with his performances this year. But
Hmm.
are we getting to the point where we need to start re-asking the question about Herbert?
Yeah. I mean, the playoff resume is pretty gross.
It's
Everyone
bad.
can agree with that. I mean, he's winless, is he not? Pretty
He
sure
is
he's
winless.
winless and he's like 0-5 or some shit. Like it's not pretty. He
It's
gets a
bad.
team there, but he doesn't get it done. I also think he conveniently has had lots of good excuses in these losses. And this year just being the health of the team, which out of your control, what can you do? But the other thing is with that excuse, so many teams are in that boat. I mean, what team is truly, truly healthy at this point in the season? I mean, everybody's dealing with stuff. Even if they're playing, they're dealing with stuff. But you got to get it done. And even if you're going to lose, it's the way he lost that I think is going to stay with people and really hammer home the question you just asked. Can we really run this back again? And I think they will.
I agree.
But I don't know that they should. I mean, I think they got a good thing going. I think if they're a little more healthy, they could maybe do something, but I don't think the team is championship ready. Like they're good enough to make it to the playoffs, but I still feel like their ceiling isn't Super Bowl level. It's probably not AFC championship level. But they need to get the one playoff win. Like if we go through this again next year and he still doesn't, like the excuses start to go away. Like you kind of have to, like I said earlier with Hurts and just quarterbacks in general, like you are the team. The success is a direct, representation of you. And yeah, this is not cutting it. You can't score three in a playoff game against a team that I've said it and I still feel this way. I just thought they'd squeak by the Chargers, but I think they're kind of fake. Like I don't think the Pats are ready just yet. Like they're very young, and I think Vrabel's phenomenal, but I don't think it's enough just yet. Like they're going to be in the mix for next 10 years or some shit again.
Yeah, I
Not
know.
ready for that again, by the way. But yeah, I I just feel like they were going to squeak by, but yeah, the Chargers in the future, they need to handle teams like this. They need to handle situations like this. And yeah, if they don't, Herbert's gonna get the blame. I mean, you live and die at the quarterback position, so it's gonna come down on him.
That's fair. That's fair. I was ultra mad at him because this was the only game that I got wrong out of the wild card
Yeah,
game, so I was
yeah,
pretty
you did.
pissed
You had
off.
very good week. Reminiscent of
Yeah.
my postseason predictions last year.
Yeah.
We
I know,
have
it's
to
just how
kind
it
of like
goes.
reverse so. It's
I
weird.
know. It
Because
has
I
been
think
weird.
we don't keep track of college, but I think you probably got me this year.
I
And
agree. Yeah.
I definitely got you last year in that, but you got me in like it's literally
Yep.
complete reverse. But
It is.
yeah, it's cool. But yeah, so
All right.
what are you thinking with Herb?
Ah, man, it's tough. It's tough. I think he's a good quality quarterback, but at the end of the day, like you said, you've got to be able to get it done in the playoffs. Like at this point, you got to at least win one of those games. That
Yeah.
Jags game will forever haunt him. I don't know
Yeah.
that he'll
Oh, that
ever
was
get over
terrible.
that. That one was really, really bad. And it's just he kind of like plays different in the playoffs too. Like you saw throughout this regular season, he started to run more and scramble
Mm,
more, and that was making a big difference, and that was helpful. It didn't see a lot of that. So I don't really know. I agree. I think they're gonna absolutely not make a quarterback change next year, but we're
right.
getting to the end of the rope. Like we are getting to the end of the
Yeah.
rope. I mean, I would have said coming in, I think it was last year, in the middle of the year, I was talking about it's like, is this really time to start having this conversation about Herbert and Lawrence? And both of those guys were much better this year during the regular
They
season,
were.
but both
Yep.
those guys go out and lose their first playoff game of this year and don't add anything else to their playoff resume. So the questions are going to need to be asked again. I expect Herbert especially, I think will be a big point of talk in the offseason for a lot of
Yeah,
folks.
definitely. I mean, I think it's similar to your question about Hurts earlier too. Like I think Herbert's going to likely play out this contract, but if we are seeing this still, it's I mean, they're not going to re-sign him. They're just not. And I think he recently re-signed, so I mean, even if we see this again next year, I mean, he'll probably go on the trade block and he'll be appealing for sure. I mean, we see all the tools and the skills and I mean, he's got it, but he certainly doesn't get it done in playoffs and when you put up 3 points, that is a bad look.
It is a very, very bad look. But all right, we got one game left to recap, and then we'll make our picks for the next round to wrap up this episode here. We've got the Monday night game, I believe, last one of the year, I
Yes.
think. The Texans traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. This one ending 30-6, and it was just an interesting watch, I think is what I'll say. The first half ends 7-6 in favor of the Texans. And then it stayed that way for the entire third quarter. No scoring in the third quarter. And then all of a sudden we get 23 points out of the Texans here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And I think the first question I want to ask you is, because I need to talk this out because I was trying to be nice and I refrained from pushing back on my Steelers fan friends. But the first thing that they said to me was they did not feel like the score was representative of how the game went and the difference between the two teams. My opinion, before I pass it up to you, my opinion is you could argue maybe the last touchdown, where it was the pick six to
Yeah.
end the game essentially, maybe you look at that as extra. But I felt like this score was actually pretty representative, and I thought the Steelers got manhandled by the Texans. Like, sure, the Steelers forced three CJ Stroud turnovers, but what did they do with it?
Yeah.
What did they do with it? Part of the game is the defense shut the Steelers down immediately off of the turnovers, even in good field position.
Yep.
So I actually think this score was quite representative. I thought the Steelers were terrible. I thought that the Texans played really, really well on defense specifically. Offense definitely needs to make some improvements. They weren't great. Their defense put them in some pretty good spots. But I thought this score was actually pretty representative, and I thought the Texans rolled.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. And to your point, like even after the Stroud turnovers, like I never felt like the Steelers were going to do anything with it, and they didn't. Like there was never like a fear factor of oh my gosh, which I picked the Texans, so kind of wanted them to
Yep.
win. So there would have been fear as a viewer watching that, but it was never in question. Like and like you said, it was 7-6 for the longest time. 1 point game, like not safe at all. Hell, a freaking Steelers safety could give him the lead. And it just was like Texans are going to win this game. Like not a doubt in my mind. They were certainly the better team and they were most of the season as well. It's not much of a surprise. I think, that's just Steeler fans holding on to whatever positive they can and a really tough loss. Something that stuck with me, which kind of made me sad. Perk Rogers' last playoff touchdown is likely a pick six.
Yep. Yep. That's tough. That's tough.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
That sucks. I loved Rogers this year, I must say. Like, and my view of him has certainly gone up and down over the years, but I'm gonna miss him
I've
if
never
he's
really
done.
wavered on Rodgers. I always felt like he was unapologetically himself,
Yes, you
personally.
just said it, and that
Yeah.
is why I'm obsessed right now. Like,
Yeah.
I love that. I am Aaron Rodgers, and I am Aaron Rodgers, and that's that. End of
I do
story.
Ayushka in the off season. You can
Yes.
deal with it. Like,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Ayahuasca, I guess it's actually pronounced, but whatever.
yeah,
Same thing.
yeah. I think. I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I love that he's him and you get what you get and you know it. You know what you're signing up for. I like that. But yeah, I hope it sounded like in a recent interview before playoffs actually that he wanted to come back, but it does sound like he wants a starting gig too, which I mean takes two to tango in this boat. I think he's certainly done in Pittsburgh. There are going to be, job openings,
Does he go to
but
is he the Chiefs' 1 year solution while Mahomes is out?
that would be awesome.
That's a
I
crazy
thought
thought.
I thought that I thought that the other night too, and yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. But I also wouldn't like it because I don't want to root for the Chiefs, and as I said, I'm obsessed with Kirk Rogers now. But yeah, I just hope we get one more out of him, but I feel like it's going to be a situation like you just said, and that means no playoffs. That means his last playoff touchdown is going to be a damn pick six, which I hate.
Hey man, I mean, if he goes on the Chiefs with that Chiefs roster, I feel like he could drag him into the playoffs. I really do.
He might. I don't know. They just seemed so. It was a bad look from that Chiefs team.
I
Like
agree.
after
I
Mahomes went
agree.
down, like they were so defeated, and I hate that. They're paid. We talked about it many times, specifically with the Chiefs, with Chris Jones' lack of effort at times, and Kelsey, along with that. But they're paid so much damn money to to not try or give a shit. Really rubs me the wrong way.
But Aaron Rodgers times Andy Reid? I don't know, man. That's kind of a scary thought. It's very
It,
interesting. I know, right?
yeah,
I
I
know.
mean it's especially a scary thought in 2015, but I guess it's a little spooky in 2026.
I thought Aaron played a quality quarterback this year. Was he his old self? No, but he was still
No,
pretty damn
yeah,
good quarterback.
yeah, yeah. I would agree. I would say he did good, and I mean we're just not going to get what we got from him. Hell, his I think it was 2020 season, literally the best performance from a quarterback ever, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like over
that's
Peyton
fair.
Manning, Bronco, and like Brady a million times, and Mahomes and all that. Like that shit was perfect. But yeah, we're not getting that again. But you can certainly get a good starter. Like I hope he
Yeah,
gets some interest from some teams. I mean, I think Kyler's gone, but I like even thinking about Perky and Arizona. I don't know, but maybe you can go out in the
maybe.
desert in a teepee and smoke some shit.
There you go. That's a good thought. But this Steelers team, I mean, we talked about the Eagles in like four or 5 years being bad. I think the Steelers team needs to be prepared to be bad next year, immediately. I
Yeah,
do not think they repeat as division champs. I don't even think they finish top two. They might be lucky to get third. The Browns are always trash, so they've got that going
yeah,
for them.
they
But
do.
I mean, you alluded to it earlier. Tomlin is out, which I
Yeah,
think the way that happened, very classy by Tomlin. Didn't need to get fired. He stepped down, meaning that if he does go elsewhere, a team does have to compensate the Steelers for taking Tomlin. So that's interesting. I think classy move by
it's
Tomlin,
cool.
probably done
I didn't realize that.
intentionally. Yes, as he wasn't fired, they technically still retain his rights. So
That's
if he
sweet.
does want to go to another team immediately,
Yeah, it's
they
Sean
will have
Payton.
to
I
trade
don't know
for
how
him.
I missed it,
Exactly. Yeah,
but
exactly.
yeah, I was kind of bummed that it happened when it did because I really wanted to film again before it happened. Because I had a whole theory of why the Steelers should get rid of Tomlin right now because it's probably going to happen in the next 3 years. And I think matching up with Baltimore, who's likely going to be your biggest foe even in the future, just because the Browns are that sorry of an organization and the Bengals kind of are too. So I thought it would make sense for them to sync timelines with Harbaugh's firing and just kind of go through it together and then see who comes out on top. And then this happens, which is cool. We're still going to get it, but I really wanted to put that out in the world before
That's
it
fair.
happened.
That's fair. I mean, good theory. Good theory. But yeah, I'm curious. Do you think the Steelers have a pretty bad year next year? I think they're gonna have a
Yeah.
pretty bad
Oh,
year.
yeah. Yeah, they're old. I'm curious even what the roster is going to look like. Like, do you really want to retain this Tomlin regime at all?
Is
Um,
DK gonna even want to be there? We know he can
right.
be a bit of a
Yeah,
diva
there's so
without Aaron
many.
there. Is he gonna
Yeah,
want to be there?
there's so many questions. Yeah, I certainly, to answer it, yeah, I think they're going to be ass, but yeah, I mean, you're filling Tomlin's shoes, you're filling Rodgers' shoes, you're filling like there's a lot of
First losing
crazy
season in
impact.
like 19 years. It's coming next year.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
what I'm
not
going to
tied to
say.
Tomlin, so I don't
Not
care.
tied to Tomlin, exactly. Tomlin, either one, two, or three all time for sure. I'd have to really sit down and think about it, but I really think he's one of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I just I can't wait, dude, to see where these guys go. You got
I
so many
know.
good coaches out there. I can't recall an off season where there was this much coach action going on.
Some good coaches too, not just the
Yeah.
shit teams
Right, right,
cycling
right.
coaches,
Right,
but
right.
like
Yeah,
good
that's every
coaches.
year. But yeah,
Yeah,
good
I know.
coaches.
My theory is actually, unless a really enticing position comes open for Tomlin, like say the Bills want him or something like that,
He'll
I
take a
think
year.
that Tomlin will take a year off, do television, and then go back after
Oh,
that. Yeah,
that's must watch TV.
it would be must-watch
Dude, I
TV.
fucking love he's just like better in every way, Kendrick Perkins.
I mean, did you see his most
Because
recent
he
comments
says
in his press conference, bro, where he was like, "Oh, well, if they make that kick, you guys are going home." And his response was, "Well, if my aunt had a penis, she'd be my uncle." So,
yes.
yeah, like that is
That's
awesome.
literally why I just said my Perkins comment because he just says shit like that and I freaking love it.
Yep, it's
I
great.
love
It's
it.
absolutely
Yeah. But
awesome.
it was even funnier. Like he didn't even say penis. He was like a
Yeah,
male member or some shit.
yeah,
It's
that's
like,
right. I'll say it for him. Don't worry about it.
yeah, but
But
it's just funny. It just makes it a little funnier in my opinion.
that does because
Yeah, it's
he's
so
already
funny.
censoring himself. He's ready for the air, bro.
He's
Uh,
ready, man. Yeah, he's got all the training. He's good.
yeah. But all right, let's wrap this episode up here with our picks for the four divisional round games. We have 8 teams still fighting for that Lombardi, and let's get started with the. Actually, before I say this, what did you go last week? I forget. I went 5-6. Were you 3-6 or 4-6?
I was 3-3.
Three, yeah. 'Cause you got
Yeah,
the
three and
Eagles
three.
wrong, the Packers wrong, and the
I the
Bills
only
wrong.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I got
Yep.
Pats, Texans, and Rams right,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah, not proud of it, but
So that's fair. That's fair. I'll take my
I
five
just
and
love that
six.
we had good games, dude. And you said
I
it. I mean,
know.
the first four were phenomenal, and we needed that. I just, especially us covering college too, like how the college playoff the first few rounds started, like just gross. This was needed.
This
The
this
big
was needed.
dance.
But all right, we'll get back to it here. First one on the docket, we have the Bills taking on the Broncos in Denver. I honestly didn't have to think about this one very, very hard. I went Bills here.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. We both have said it numerous times. We think the Broncos are kind of fake. They're not there just yet. A lot of missing pieces. And that defense, man, they're the best thing in the world, or they're ass. And I think that really, I mean, I didn't think about it long either, but I think the game is worth thinking through just for that reason alone. And I think they're the catalyst. Like, what what version are we going to get of that
I
Broncos
agree.
defense?
If the Broncos defense decides to show up how they can,
Yeah.
it gets interesting.
Yep.
It gets
And I
interesting.
don't think they will. And we've seen it specifically in college a lot. But that week off, man, like you get some time off, it can certainly hurt you. And I mean, we've also just said it too. It's the Bills' year, man. The stars are aligning. So I hope they get it done. And yeah, I think they
Counterpoint.
do.
My only counterpoint to that would be could the Bills be coming into this game a little bit overconfident because they think the same thing you did? The Jags were really the team that they needed to beat. They did that round one. Do
Certainly
they come in a
possible.
little bit overconfident in round two
Yeah.
over who
Certainly
many,
possible.
many people think is an overrated Broncos team?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's definitely possible because, like you just said, I mean, it was pretty clear to me Bills and Jags were the teams to worry about in the AFC. And I'm sure it was clear to, all the coaches, all the teams, everything else, all the players. But yeah, I mean, they also know, I mean, they're an experienced playoff team. They understand how it goes. And these are the kind of games too where you can't forget who's coach because I think Sean Payton can have an effect on this game as well.
I agree. I agree with that. All right. Let's go to the 49ers taking on the Seahawks in Seattle, a rematch of what was a fight for the 1 seed recently. I don't think this one ends up quite as close, especially with the 49ers losing Kittle now. Seahawks really ready to go on a playoff run. I've got the Seahawks here. It does definitely, hinge on Darnold playing well too.
Yeah.
That's a big question mark. Can he show up in the playoffs
Oh yeah.
after last year with the Vikings? But if he does, I think the Seahawks can roll here.
Yeah, Darnold is scary, man. He had a good hot start to the year, but really overall not a very good season, a lot of highs and lows, but this team is so damn good. If they just had a guy that was a little safer, I really think this Seahawks team would be, the main team to beat, and they might still be, honestly, in my eyes. It's close between a few teams, but yeah, I think they handle the Niners here. I wasn't impressed with them, which is part of why the Eagles loss hurt so much. Like the Niners, I don't think have it at all. I don't think they were even close. And the Seahawks are freaking stacked, man. I think the defense alone will get it done in this one. I don't think they just need Darnold not to hurt them and they will be okay. Even if he doesn't elevate or do anything really good, I think they'll get by. Please give Kenneth Walker the ball more too. Also, I'm ready for Charbonnet to his usage to drop a bit. I want to see some Walker.
I am curious to see what happens with the Walker Charbonnet situation. I'm
Yeah.
not sure that it does change much,
I don't think it
to be
will
honest.
because as we talked about it too, because I was expecting that in this fight for the 1 seed that we saw a few weeks ago, and it was still what it's been all year, pretty 50-50. So we'll see. But playoffs are a little different. Maybe they were thinking like the Eagles, and seeding doesn't matter too much. But who knows?
That's fair. All right, 2 games left here. Up next, we got the Texans traveling to New England to take on the Patriots. This one was another pretty easy one for me. I just think this Texans defense is going to be too suffocating for what the Patriots can offer on offense. So I've got the Texans here.
Yeah, I went Texans as well. Pats, much like the Broncos, said it a million times, feel like a broken record, but I don't think they're there yet. I think there's a lot of growth to be done, and just they're a young squad. Texans been in playoffs every year with D'Amico, I believe, and yeah, they're used to it. And with this defense, it should be more than enough to handle the Pats, but. The Pats have been surprising too, and with their defensive performance against the Chargers, who knows? I think their defense is pretty underrated. It's solid, but I think the Texans will get it done.
Yeah. What a turnaround by the Texans this year. I do need to acknowledge that they
Yeah,
started off horribly. I can't remember 1-3 or 1-4 start to the season, but finished 12-5. So going 11-2, 11-1 to end the year
yeah, it's
is
remarkable,
one hell of a run. One hell of a run.
and it is that defense.
It is. Because CJ hasn't
Stroud's
looked
another
great.
one. I
Yeah.
mean, we didn't bring him up because they're winning, but that's another quarterback where it's like unsure of the future there. But
He hasn't looked anywhere close to his rookie season ever since.
no, he,
It's
he
it's
hasn't.
been bad. It's two
And
years
they
in a
haven't
row
given
of
him
not
too
great.
much help. I mean, they've addressed receiver numerous times for him, but the O line I don't think is very spectacular. I think running back too. I mean, Woody Marks has been running well this year, and Mixon was good last year, but I think the year before that they kind of struggled at that position, and this year at times I think they still struggle with it. But overall, I do like Woody Marks, and uh, got to get the ball to Nico too. Nico's such a game changer. I feel like they're not like it's almost they're kind of similar to the Eagles, and I've made that comparison before. I feel like the offense is kind of boring, and they're not getting the ball to their playmakers, and they're just not doing anything spectacular. And maybe they feel the same way as Hertz does or the Eagles do, where defense is good enough to get this done. So let's just play clean and let's take care of it. But to your point in the Steelers game, they didn't play very clean.
They did
So
not play clean.
yeah,
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, let's move on to the last game here to wrap this up. We have the Rams taking on the Bears in Chicago. This was the most difficult pick for
yeah,
me
and
this
it
week.
sucks. It's my two and my
For
three, man.
sure. for sure. Um, I wanted to go Rams. I really, really did. I want Stafford to get there, at least get another Super Bowl appearance. I'd love to see that. But I just don't see it happening after the performance last week against that Panthers team. Going to play in the cold at Soldier Field instead of in a
Yeah.
dome in LA. I think that's going to be a difference. I mean, even Stafford in his time in Detroit, he got to play at Ford Field, and I don't know if I'd call it a dome, but an enclosed stadium, we'll say. There's no
Yeah.
elements. So Soldier Field's certainly going to be a challenge there. Bears are useless, and Bears have shown if they can just keep it close enough
Oh
heading
yeah.
into that fourth
Never
quarter,
stop
you
fighting.
are in trouble. You are in trouble. So I got
And
Bears here.
I think that's the way it shakes out too. Um, I just don't think the Bears will get it done this time. But I feel it's funny because I feel the opposite way of you do. Because I like the Rams and the Bears. Obviously, Eagles are first. But Rams have had success. Eagles have had success. I want the Bears to win this game. Like I do. They're due.
I can't
They
have
haven't
an
done
NFC
shit in
Taurus winning any
forever.
more games than they need to. So
Yeah. But I want the Bears to win this game, but I don't think they will. I kind of mentioned it earlier. I kind of feel like that Rams Panthers game was kind of a bogey situation. Like that's the bogey team. That's just a team that plays them really hard, beats them sometimes, and really doesn't make sense why. Eagles have it. Like Seattle's one of ours. We never beat Seattle. We lost to Drew Lock Seattle. It just doesn't happen. And yeah, I think that's kind of what's happening there. I think the Rams will respond. Another week with Adams back in the offense is going to help as well. Uh, Bears defense pretty banged up. I mean, they're very good at turning the ball over. They're extremely good and always have been. I feel like my whole life at the next man up on the defensive side of the ball. It just feels like they make plays no matter who's in there. But we saw they lost TJ Edwards last week. The
big
secondary's been
loss.
banged up most of the year. I think the Rams offense is going to thrive. And I do think it's going to be that Bears clawing back at the end, and I just think they're going to fall short. But like I mentioned earlier, if the Bears can get it done, though, watch out because they're just like team of destiny. But I am going Rams in this one.
All right. So we agree Bills, Seahawks, Texans, different on the Rams and the Bears here. So
Yeah,
that's going to be pretty exciting. We will see who is
which
playing in the
is
conference championship games come next week's episode.
yeah, and it's just so weird because you want Rams but pick Bears. I want Bears but picked Rams. So I mean, it's going to be a mixed bag regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, we'll both be okay with either outcome, I
Yeah,
think is
right.
how I'll put it. But with that, that wraps up another edition of Palm City Chucks here. So happy to be here talking playoffs with you and everybody that joins and listens in. As always, we appreciate and love you for doing so. Please like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think. And off season's coming soon, so if you got some things you want to hear about, definitely let us know. We'll be
Yes.
back next week, Chuckheads.
Later, PCC.